Hi, everybody. This is Bill Soroka, founder of NotaryCoach.com and the Sign and Thrive Notary Training Course and Community. Today, we're going to do a little refresher on the tone of communication. You know, if we're going to continue talking about building authentic relationships, we have to talk about the tone of communication because very oftentimes this is the first time that you're going to see or interact with a potential customer or a referral contact or anybody. You just never know who's on the other side of these communications sometimes. And in the role that I get to play both as a mobile notary and loan signing agent, as the owner of a signing company, as a course creator, as a teacher, as a mentor, I get to see all kinds of different levels of communication. And I also get to talk to others. I get to network and collaborate and connect with other people who are doing pretty amazing things as well. And they're interacting with communications. And we get to talk a little bit about what this tone of communication means for us, for our business, and for those that are interacting with us. The reality is, you know, communication and your tone can vary from person to person, right? Not everybody likes to be talked to the way that you talk, or not everybody receives information that the same way that you do. So it's important that we have some self-awareness about how we show up to this. In fact, I'm going to be talking a lot about self-awareness and building these authentic relationships. I'm really doubling down on building authentic relationships inside the Sign and Thrive course. In fact, we're really making a push for that starting May 2nd with those building authentic relationship training calls. But still, even when there's so many variables about how to communicate, how do we know what to do? And here's some basic guidelines that I have found that have worked really well for me. Now, the thing that to keep in mind is that as we go through this, because there are so many different variables there, I've decided that I would rather err on the side of enthusiasm. So if I don't want to ever be perceived as dull and boring and not interested in what I do, I love what I do. I love the interaction in the business that I do. And I want that to show through in my communication. I want the other person receiving the communication to feel like I'm interested in them, in this business, and doing the task at hand. That it's not any type of fight, you know, I'm in it with them. And I want that to be conveyed in my messages. And I enjoy working with other people that convey that as well. So let's dive in and talk a little bit. We're going to talk about emails, text messages, and then the phone and voicemail real quick, just to give you a little overview of what to do here. And there's going to be some examples on exactly what to do. So emails, any email that you have to signing companies, escrow officers, lenders, attorneys, real estate agents, mentors, notaries, course creators, teachers, organizations, or any other human being, that is what we're talking about here. On your emails, you want to start with a warm, friendly greeting, no matter what. Say what you need to say succinctly and use good grammar and spelling. If you don't have time to check the spelling or the grammar, then you probably should not be sending this message. Now, I know we all do use voice to text sometimes, and it comes across, I do it all the time with close contacts and people I already have a relationship with. I do not recommend doing this with new clients because you never know what you're going to get. So pull over. Do it from the office, set some time aside in the morning to send out your most critical emails, whatever it is that you do, just make sure that you use good grammar. And then you want to close the email friendly and professionally. Every single time, guys, there's very rarely going to be an exception to this unless you obviously have a really close connection with the other person. But when it comes to business, we're going to start everything out, warm, friendly greeting, say what you need to say succinctly, and then close it out in a friendly professional. Here's a good example of this. Hi, Margot. Thank you for sharing your experiences at our Lunch and Learn meeting today. I found that so helpful. You mentioned a certain app you use for monitoring your web traffic, and I missed the name. Would you mind sending that over? Thank you for your time. At your service, Bill. That starts warm and friendly. Say what I need to say, make an ask, and then close it out. Here's a bad example. And I see these all the time. Hi, maybe there's a hello. What's the name of that doohickey app you use for knowing how many people visit your website? No close, no name. I have no idea who it's coming from. They maybe have no idea who they're sending it to. There's no to anything on there. This kind of communication matters all the time. Text message etiquette. We live in a text world. I love sending text messages for confirmations, for confirming, checking in with clients, whatever it might be. Most people are text message people. Some people aren't. And you know how you find out if they are not text message people? They do not reply to you. So once you know that, you can adjust. You can switch to email. You can switch to telephone, whatever it might be. So in text message etiquette, perception is reality. This exists outside of text messaging, of course, but with texting in particular, it's very important to be aware that your tone of your text messages sets a bar for your level of communication. And some people take it really personally. So if they're perceiving, whatever they're perceiving, whether or not you intended it, it is real for them. So it can have a detrimental effect for you. This happens in emails as well. This happens in personal communication. Whatever the person is making up in their head about you and the situation in your business, that's going to be real. So in text messages, we're going to kind of go a little bit over the top in just making sure that our tone is really clear. The message that we're driving home is really clear. You know, we're not being rude. We're not being lazy about anything. We just really want to drive it home on that. So you're always going to use punctuation, always, always, always in text messages. We're going to avoid using the text lingo. These are not your friends. These are not your close relatives. You know, we want to keep things professional on here. And especially, do not answer with that word K for okay. Avoid using that on a personal level. It's a pet peeve of mine, but on a professional level, it really comes across as way too casual, and that can turn people off surprisingly. And I say this because it's actually become an issue in my business too with another notary where I saw some text messages, and I'll share some of those with you here. Don't be afraid to show your personality a little bit too. It's okay to let that come across. We're staying professional, but we might be able to have a little bit of fun in text messages. That's one of the reasons I really enjoy it. Embellish the punctuation like your exclamation points. I like to use exclamation points because it shows that I've got some enthusiasm about what we're doing and where we're going. I'm coming to your house, I'm meeting you at Denny's, whatever it is. I want them to realize that this is not a burden to me. This is something that I enjoy doing. And you'll find in this business that a lot of people are afraid that coming to their home, work, Denny's, Starbucks, wherever it is, you coming to them is some sort of burden. And that way they're extremely grateful 90% of the time, but then they also have this little part that just feels bad that they had to be special and have somebody come out to them. So I try to convey that this is awesome. I love what I'm doing, and I love that I'm going out to meet with them. Keep your messages short and sweet. If it's going too long, guys, depending on cell phone carriers and the type of phone, sometimes those long text messages, they come through like a series of 10 or 15 text messages, and it drives people crazy. So it could have the counter effect that you're trying to convey. So just keep your message short and sweet. Here's a good example of that. This is a pretty standard text message for me and my clients. Hi, Jim and Carol. This is Bill, the mobile notary for your loan signing appointment today. I'm looking forward to meeting you both. Does 6 p.m. still look good for you? And then I'll get an answer, and we can have a little bit of rapport and connection that way. And I can ask them about whether or not they have the proper IDs and do they know about the closing funds, all of that stuff. This is the opener for that. Bad example. This is a real example, guys. I'm conroom our appapt for 6 and on my way. Are you ready? This is from a real notary to a real client, and this one did not go over very well. So we want to avoid any of these weird abbreviations. We want to go over the top. Like I said, embellish, fill out the full word, make it clear what you're doing, set some tone here so it looks professional at all times. All right, let's look into phone and voicemail, guys. I've done a video on phone and voicemail before, but like I said, this is going to be a little refresher for us. So no matter what, you're always going to answer the phone professionally. A good example of that would be, good morning, this is Bill. How can I help you? Or just, hello, this is Bill. Something short and sweet like that. Bad example, hello. Guys, if we're going to be in business, we need to let go of the phone introduction, hello. It no longer serves its purpose. If your phone is ringing and you do not recognize the phone number, you must assume that that is a business call. So you need to answer it like you're trying to run a business where you care whether or not you get that person's business. I hear this all the time whenever I'm calling looking for a notary or signing agent. On signingagent.com, I'm just calling people. It's hello. And I don't know if I'm calling are they still in business? Do they want to do business? I want to know who I'm talking to. I want to assume that they do want business. So answer that. Use the name of your business if you have to or want to. Whatever it is, create that professional greeting for yourself. Your voicemail message. This is extremely important as well. You want to be upbeat and professional. You want it to be clear on the instructions and the expectations, and you want to avoid using the system-generated voicemail. If it says, you have reached 5555, that's not acceptable. If it says, you have reached Judy, that is not acceptable either. Take the time to create a professional greeting. Now, here's some examples of what that might look like. Good example is, hi, you've reached Bill with Mobile Notary AZ. I'm likely with a client right now and can get back to you within the hour in most cases. Please leave me a voicemail here or send a text message to the same number at 555-555-5555, and I may be able to answer faster. Thank you for calling and have a great day. Here's an even better example. Hi, you've reached Bill with Mobile Notary AZ. Today is Friday, April 26th, and I'm in the office today. I'm likely with a client right now and can get back to you within the hour in most cases. For a faster response, please text me at the same number, 555-555-5555, or send me an email to orders@notarycoach.com. Thank you for calling and have a great day. Notice the tone and fluctuation in there too. You want to show some level of enthusiasm or some sort of interest that you'd like to do business with the person who's calling you. Your tone matters all the time in this, guys. You never know who's on the other end of your communication. And we work in a business where one person, one single relationship can change everything for you. I've met people who have changed everything at a signing, met people who changed everything at the grocery store. You just never know where it's going to happen. So put some thought into how you communicate in your business so we can build more, deeper, stronger, authentic relationships. Have a great day.